you doing? Hope you had a good weekend, I guess. Weekend? What even day is it? I don't even know. We had a holiday here in the US, which was Memorial Day, which is a somber holiday, but it screwed up our whole week, so whatever. But we are on topic, I think, number 3, and that is, what does crunchy mean to you? What does it mean to me? And also, what does it mean to your friends, family, coworkers? And do they approve? Do they not approve? Their feelings, that kind of thing. It's kind of like two topics into one, but it's just basically around crunchiness. Like, what is the definition of crunchy, and what does it mean to you, and how does it affect your friends and family and your relationships? So here we go. How I found the word crunchy came long before parenthood. Um, my Pardon the noise in the background. We're both having screen time right now. She's watching Strawberry Shortcake, and that's when I get my chance to make my videos. So screen time for everyone. All right. I found out about the word crunchy when I still do go to, but when I first started going to rainbow gatherings. And at Rainbow, a bunch of hippies, like major hippies, we're not just talking like the trendy flower children of modern day who dress in new fancy hippie clothes. We're talking like real hippies that camp out in the woods and build their own stoves and kitchens and whatever. Rainbow gathering. Been going for a long time. And it's amazing. And within the hippie, the more hardcore hippies, the true blue hippies, there you have levels. You have kind of like your clean hippies, your pretty hippies, your flower child, children stuff, and the ones that kind of brush their hair, and they don't get all grungy. And then you have more hardcore, and the hardcore hippies more so were within the hippie community itself. They were coined as crunchies. So if you're in a room of a bunch of hippies and they're trying to decipher what kind of hippie you are, and you're looking at that one over there who's really straggly and really grungy and really dirty and probably has dreadlocks, and the dudes probably have big old long beards and their toes are black because they walk around barefoot all the time, and they smell like patchouli and body odor, and they're hardcore raw vegan. Those were the crunchies. We call them granola crunchy. And so to me, that's what I thought when I saw the crunchy phrase being carried over into like this new, up and coming, more popular, growing trend of natural parenting, and I saw crunchy. I was like, no way, no way, they're using that. And I don't know how it bled over. Maybe just because within the natural communities themselves, natural communities represent hippie communities, which, they tend to go hand in hand. People who are about the earth, of the earth, living a natural lifestyle, organic fibers, wearing hemp shoes, eating organically, stuff like that. Maybe it just bled over into, when the hippies became moms and they called themselves crunchy mamas, and then it kind of migrated more towards the mainstream as more mainstream people started catching on to the more natural life. I think that's how it kind of blended and how crunchy sort of carried over, because to me, being, having gone to gatherings and being hanging out with like hardcore hippies for 20-something years, crunchy did not apply to like a parenting style. It was a type of hippie who was more dirty than this hippie over here, who probably wore white flower skirts and brushed their hair. The granola crunchy hippies didn't, and you knew that they were, just, they had, their skin was brown because it was like, you have a layer of dirt, So, but now crunchy in the parenting communities doesn't necessarily mean that you got toe jam and you're walking around smelling like patchouli and armpit odor. But sometimes it does. Actually, often it still can for some of the hardcore crunchies. But that's okay. That's okay. I I roll with the hardcore crunchies. I do, but I brush my hair. And, and I don't like the smell of armpit odor, but I love patchouli and I love the smell of garlic, and I'll happily smell like garlic and patchouli any day. You know? So, with that being said, that's kind of what crunchy means to me. It's definitely an of the earth, more raw, more hardcore, natural way of living. And carrying that into parenthood, a more hardcore, more dedicated, more of the earth way of parenting and raising your family, and the products you use or don't use, and just the fibers that you allow on your body and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what crunchy means to me. That's where I feel like it came from, the origins, and that's how I feel like it kind of morphed into the uh, you know, parenting communities. So yeah, so what do my friends and family and yeah, acquaintances think of crunchy? What do they think it is? Well, I mean, my friends who aren't crunchy, my friends who aren't already hippies and natural-minded people, um, though, if they're not that, then like family, my family's always thought that I was kind of out there, out there, just to say the least, out there. Yeah, yeah. And any friends who weren't a hippie always kind of laughed, and didn't necessarily like that I didn't always shave my legs, didn't necessarily like that I always sported my little muskrat under my arms. They don't. Sometimes they do. But they don't always, like it. They're just like, oh God. And there was a time when I was like between the ages of 18 and 25 where I just was so grizzly, and I would walk around with skirts with my legs not having been shaved for months, and I'm Italian, okay? And everyone could notice for miles that I was like some anyway. It didn't please my family at all. They didn't like it, and they started telling me that they were allergic to patchouli. They started telling me that they couldn't breathe when I wore patchouli, and I was like, oh, well, I can't breathe when you smoke cigarettes, so we're even. Ah! Anyway, it's all comical now, but yeah, I haven't even shaved my armpits lately. I got a little peach fuzz going on. Whatever. I like it. I like having the natural. I don't think I could ever get laser or anything like that. I used to contemplate it. I'd be like, oh gosh, sometimes, I just don't want to shave. But sometimes I like being smooth and feeling like, feminine and modern feminine. And then other times I like feeling fuzzy. I like it. I prefer it. And so, what are you going to do? Yeah. So, do they approve? Have I touched on that? Yeah, no. My fans and family, they think that it's just dirty, and they think that it's just crazy, and they think, why don't you, throw out your clothes with holes in them, and why don't you just throw out everything that's old and go buy new stuff? And oh, the kitty! Oh, the kitty! Come here, kitty, 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 kitty! Get the kitty! She's chasing the cat. Anyway, so yeah, but they accept me, but they're always trying to nudge me towards a more silky lifestyle. Silky meaning like, baby, the kitty doesn't want to play. Here, have some more cheese. Whoop. There we go. There. Okay. I told you guys that I was like wanting to move towards veganism. We're a really hardcore dairy family here. We eat. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but we eat a lot of dairy in this house. It's really hard to give up dairy. But having done further research, more research, and having the universe kind of guide me into this whole, you need to get off the dairy and go vegan, and just looking again more into the dairy industry and how it's, so now I don't get dairy from a mainstream Walmart or market or anything. We get local dairy. We get local cheese from the local farms here. Hell of a lot better. They're not like factory farms hooked up to, and it tastes so much better. Oh my God, I never knew cheese and dairy and milk could taste so amazing. Like usually cheese and dairy and milk has like kind of a, more of a, like a, what do you want to say? Like a, not, what am I trying to say? Like a, not a sour feeling, but Whatever. It's sweet. This cheese and milk from this local area is sweet. It tastes like sugar. It's so crazy. And there's no sugar in it. It's just a wonderful thing. Anyway, off topic. So, do my friends and family approve? I'm going on a long video. I'm sorry. No. All of my friends and family that, okay, when I moved out of where I grew up in Arizona, you know, I had friends, I had people on my wavelength, I had hippies, I had non-hippie friends, whatever. Okay, and then I moved out to here, out to Missouri, out to the sticks, and I kind of lost, you know, not lost my friends, but I lost touch with everyone. But I still had, like, people I talked to on the phone who came to visit, who I went, you know. But then when I became a mom, my lifestyle really started to shine through. And people thought that all of a sudden I'm a mom, I'm going to grow up and grow out of my little hippie phase and get my head on straight. So, no, what happened was my values actually shone through even stronger, and it actually caused rifts in my family more and with my friends more than I even expected. I had no idea how hard people would disapprove of my lifestyle, my choices. I couldn't believe it, you know? And it just so having a child really brings out, you know, people's really hardcore beliefs and patterns and things that they, you know, don't realize they believe in or whatever. I don't even know. But my friends, my closest friends, one of my bestest friends, my oldest friends that I had for a really long time, she got kind of distanced herself from me and kind of we lost touch and stopped talking once I became a mom because she totally didn't approve, not because of this solely, but it was I think a contributing factor because that's when she pulled back and didn't want to be a part of my life and hear about my pregnancy. Because she and then a couple other friends did the same thing. They found out how I was going about my birth and that I wasn't going to doctors, and they just didn't want to engage with me because they thought that I was selfish. Everyone even said, "You're selfish for not going to the doctor. You need to think about the baby." And they called me just the main thing was selfish, and people were worried for me. And my family, my mom, my aunts, and all my family was just really on edge and harping on me. And since they're my family, they couldn't just disown me, and you know, but it created a huge rift between like me and my mom and my aunt and all my family. Everyone who used to just like talk to me and be kind of normal, the moment I you know, and I didn't be like, this is what I'm gonna do, they would ask me, they'd be like, when are you going to the doctor, when are you gonna go get your ultrasound, when are you gonna go get, you know, your checkup, and when are you gonna get induced, and just all these typical questions. And when I'd be like, no, 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 they'd be like, you're not going to the doctor? And just rage would just come over them. And so my crunchy lifestyle, crunchy lifestyle, people didn't approve of. They didn't, I'm checking the time, making sure that I don't go over. All right. They didn't approve. They didn't like it. And so I actually didn't talk and communicate and connect with my mother as much as you would think. Motherhood, when your daughter becomes pregnant, it's supposed to be a time of like kind of coming together with your mom. It's like a bonding experience, but it drew us kind of for a while because she didn't like anything that I wanted to do with my child and my birth, and everyone was scared for me, and everyone thought that I was crazy. And then after she was born, then the whole, you know, the vaccination issue just became more of a rift. And even now I'm hearing like, when are you going to put her on solids? You know, they were asking when I was going to put her on solids when she was 3 months old, and it's been a headache. So no, my friends and family and all that, I haven't had a support system much at all. So I'm out of time. That's all I got to say though. Bye.